So I have a feeling this is a topic that is going to rub some people up the wrong way, probably make some of you not like me, and probably have some people, probably people who believe in the First Amendment in the US, tell me that I'm wrong. But I think this is one of those really important topics to discuss. I'm not trying to give a definitive opinion on this, just pontificate on the effects that all the information online has on us. We already know, I think lots of studies have shown nowadays that we are all bombarded with too much information, too many distractions, people have mental health issues, people find it difficult to concentrate on things, people are addicted to their phones. God knows I'm terrible with that. I need to spend less time on my phone and less time consuming information on the internet. It is very, very addictive. And I guess that brings me to what I want to talk about in this video, and that is this whole idea that there are too many experts out there, that everybody's an expert, and not everybody possibly can be an expert. And I know that in itself as an idea is somewhat overblown. If you're in the internet content creation or marketing bubble, it feels like everybody else is involved in that. And in fact, the majority of people out there are not creating content on social media and are not broadcasting things online about themselves, but because of the bias we have from seeing so much online, it feels like everybody we know is posting online the entire time. I guess what's been playing on my mind recently as somebody who is making videos and putting them on the internet and sharing my opinions and my experiences of things is that there's been a trend away from people documenting their lives, documenting what happens with them, and more of this sort of this incredible bombardment with all these people who are experts on whatever it is they're talking about. There is no room for anybody feeling their way through it, going on the journey and sort of helping their audience discover something alongside them. Everybody out there is on a soapbox talking as though they are the definitive expert about whatever they are talking about. And I think that's concerning because there aren't that many experts on all these different topics. Pick a topic, whether it's making videos, whether it's photographs, any topic you can think of, there is an expert online telling you how to do it, telling you why you should do it the way they do it. And sure, in every niche, there are people who just share their journey, which I think is a really good thing. And it's probably the direction I'm heading in more and more and more. Less preaching and telling you what you should do, and I hope I haven't been doing that anyway. I think it's important that over the next few years there is a bit of a shift away from everybody being the definitive expert on whatever it is they're talking about, back to the sharing of more personal journeys. Think your Casey Neistats. I've got a good friend on the internet, I've actually never met him in real life, whose videos I follow on YouTube, who I think is incredible at this. His name is Jim Croft. He is documenting his journey as a creative and recording an album, and I aspire to be more like him, to be honest, and I think so many more people should. I'll put a link to his channel in the description. He's absolutely incredible, musician, filmmaker, all-around lovely guy, definitely worth checking out. But I think there is such a danger out there right now for people who don't know what they're talking about, even though they might have the best of intentions, although a lot of them I know just want to get monetized and parrot things other people have told them to do that. They see it as an easy way of making money online, doing something they kind of enjoy doing. To be completely honest, it's a bit of a grift for a lot of people. They are just jumping on these platforms to get monetized and to make a revenue stream off of those things. And look, I'd love to make money doing this. I make money talking to cameras and making videos for people anyway. So in a sense, I guess I'm lucky. I get to go out and do this in the corporate world and have for a while now. But for a lot of people, I think they see it as an easy way to making money and not having to go into a traditional career, to give themselves a bit of freedom. And fair enough. I mean, who doesn't want that? But I guess just there are so many people out there who are out there to make a quick buck and who may not be as invested in what they're talking about as they could be, because they're there primarily for the monetization of things. And it takes us in a dangerous path where there are lots of people who kind of have half a picture of what they're talking about, sharing information that other people pick up on and maybe take as gospel, maybe take as the definitive answer on something. And it's interesting because you tend to find the actual subject matter experts in certain areas are not necessarily talking about things on the internet with the same fervor and the same flair for production as people who are feeling their way through it on YouTube. And again, this is a touchy subject because this varies from person to person, an Instagram account to YouTube channel, and I don't want to paint everybody with the same brush, but just more and more and more on the internet right now, I have been finding that there is this flood of people who will tell you how to start your business in 10 easy steps, give you the shortcuts they wish they knew at the beginning of their career. And where I worry is, look, that's great. I love that people are sharing shortcuts and sharing wisdom. But what you tend to find is lots of people telling you what a success they are in a certain field, but you don't see them actually succeeding publicly in that field. You see them succeeding publicly in telling other people how to run their business or telling people how to succeed in a field. You see what I mean? It's just on-selling the idea of success without actually backing it up with anything. From the perspective of a professional creative, the flip side to that coin is I do understand how difficult that can be. People assume that if you are a professional creative who've been somewhat successful in your career, then you have a huge breadth of body of work that you can share and put online to show that you are an expert. And to some degrees, that is true. I have little bits and bobs and dribs and drabs that I can share. But over the last decade, a lot of the work I've done has been under NDA, so a non-disclosure agreement, where I'm not allowed to share that stuff. I'm not allowed to take the credit for it. Or I did it in-house at companies like Apple and Microsoft, where I don't have the stuff that I created anymore. So there's this interesting dichotomy for somebody like me, who I have a lot of experience I would like to share. I'm always conscious of the fact that, anyway, that aside, it's important to share my personal experiences, I think, in this and where this is coming from. But getting back to the internet experts, perhaps there is something to be said for just a little bit of gatekeeping out there, a little bit of gatekeeping of not knowledge and information, but gatekeeping of who can dub themselves an expert. I don't know how you would begin to do that. And I don't want to stifle people's creative freedom and artistic freedom or opinions. I just think we need a better societal framework for who we trust and who we follow and how we decide who an expert on something is and how we decide who is the best person to help us grow a business or something like that. I jumped on a call the other day, and I think this is what started this train of thought, with a guy who reached out to me over LinkedIn. Dude, sorry if you're watching this, but you kind of brought this on yourself. Who pitched himself as an expert in growing a business and getting leads and building a foolproof plan for marketing your business. He told me he had this free system as the person who was running a production company, and he wanted to help out other production companies with this. I actually thought he was somebody else I'd met at a conference who I did know, so I jumped on a call with him. And about 10 minutes into the call with my business partner, I sort of rolled my eyes and I realized, oh my God, it's not the guy from the conference. It's not somebody I've actually met before. It's just some random who's trying to sell me something. And the information this guy was giving me was all freely available information from Google, literally from Google, not doing a Google search, but Google information on how to use Google Ads that you can find on free guides online or free guides on YouTube. And he was trying to repackage this as a system that he'd created. He came up with a fancy acronym and everything, but there was nothing fancy about it and there was nothing special or unique about it. He was basically trying to make money by passing off free information to us. And his fees were steep, they were huge. And he was trying to sort of target smaller businesses as well. And that's what worried me, is that he was charging very small businesses huge sums of money to be able to access freely available information, repackaging it as his own, not very well. And it made me really concerned. And I started searching more and more and looking at a few people. Now, there are some great people online. This is the thing. You need to sort of know how to sift through the noise from the meaningful stuff that is going to help you. And when you're first starting out, when you don't have experience and you don't know who the snake oil salespeople are and who the real deals are, it can be really, really difficult. I dread to think the position I would have been in if I didn't have as much experience in the industry as I do, with people offering me something for free like that. Because on the face of it, this guy's offer was quite compelling, the way he presented it to me when he reached out on LinkedIn. And I find it concerning that he could be out there pulling the wool over other people's eyes, making a quick buck off them for information they could actually get for free if they just knew where to go. So when I talk about gatekeeping, I don't mean that there should be barriers between people and the information they want. If anything, I think we should gatekeep who can be an expert so that they do not gatekeep information which is free to other people. There's something to be said for being a good teacher and being able to teach people stuff. And this is where there's a grey area. It's a blurry line. It's not easy to say this is right and this is wrong. You can't just cover everybody with one blanket assumption about what they're doing. Some people out there are genuinely great teachers who take information that's hard to digest and hard to understand and give that back to you in a really easy way, an easy to digest, fun to watch manner. Look at some of the YouTubers who do tutorials out there, who do really good tutorials that they put out for free, and then they live off their merch or whatever it is that they might put out there. People like Peter McKinnon and Matti Haapoja spring to mind in the filmmaking world. If you don't know them, filmmaking and photography, check them out, they're both amazing. They don't necessarily do tutorials anymore. Matti Haapoja's on a massive break. But what they did do at the beginning was altruistic and selfless. And it really helped people out there and repackaged perhaps hard to understand information about things like the Adobe Creative Cloud in a really simple, fun, engaging way, which was relevant to the photographers and filmmakers they were talking about. It's a very difficult topic to talk about, this one, without sounding like you're writing people off and shooting people down for trying to do something good and something positive. But I just worry we're in an era of unprecedented snake oil salesmanship that I think people need to be very, very wary of. And I don't quite know how people who are beginners, people who are just starting out, are meant to navigate their way through this very tricky landscape of people's offers that look so compelling, but are in fact just trying to fleece them from a bit of money. Some of the people I know and interact with regularly on the internet do things like run communities to help people create YouTube videos and find success on YouTube. And if you're watching this, guys, definitely not talking about you. I think you're doing great things. And I think that is the thing, though. The fact I have to clarify that in this video, it shows what a sort of a delicate topic this is. And there is a really fine line between ripping people off and regurgitating information in a wholly un-altruistic way, and doing it in a way that is just being a good mentor, a good leader, a good teacher, so to speak. I even worry that the guy I'm talking about who sparked this idea, maybe he will go on to help somebody really scale their business and help them. I hope I haven't stepped on anybody's toes or hurt anyone's feelings with this one. I really hope this helps people out. If there are people out there who are at the beginnings of their career who are getting offered too good to be true things, or things that just sound fantastic because other people say they're being altruistic and trying to help you, but there's a hidden cost involved, if you're not sure, I would love to help out. If you're starting out in photography, in filmmaking, anything like that, or you want to get somebody to sense check something that you've been sent that seems too good to be true, I would love to help you out. I don't charge people for this sort of thing. Drop a comment in the comments below and let me know, or send me a DM on Instagram at NickDLF, and I would love to help people out. I really do want to make sure that people who are at the beginning of their careers with the best of intentions, going out there to try and tell stories and do the right thing and create something that's artistic and new and vibrant and different, I don't want those people to get ripped off. That's partly why I'm making this video. So I hope this has been helpful to you. I hope this has opened the eyes of perhaps some people out there at the beginning of their careers to just not ditch everybody who offers you anything online, but ask yourself, is this legitimate? Is this too good to be true? Is this person charging extortionate fees for something I could easily read about myself very quickly? Or are they a genuine mentor, a genuine teacher who's genuinely going to help me out? Because there are lots of them out there too. What I'm actually going to do is, in the comments for this video, in the description for this video even, I'll put a couple of links to people whose content really I find very helpful, I find very inspiring, and I think are legitimate and out there to do good. And also, obviously, to Jim Croft, who is a fantastic artist and musician who is communicating on another level on YouTube. And I can't wait for him to blow up and for more people to discover him, because I think what he's creating is the way forward in the YouTube space. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that helped. If that did help you and you want to hear more from me, please do make sure to like this one, subscribe, and let me know if there's anything you'd like me to cover. Please do reach out if I can help you at all as well. If you need to bounce ideas off me, if you want me to sense check something that you think's too good to be true, I would love to help people out. Please do reach out to me on Instagram. I'll help as many people as I can. Can't promise I can help everybody who watches this, but there's only about 10 people watching these anyway, so it should be good. Okay, cheers, take care, bye.